Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols, and I'm here to bring you your Nichols Worth, and today I'm going to do an updated video on my top 5 favorite translations. I did one some time ago, but as you know, we evolve, we read different translations, and we kind of grow fond of some over others. So here's my current top 5. At number 5, we have the NLT, and this is also a great opportunity to showcase some amazing rebinders, so I'll mention them as well. But this is a rebind from ICA, and this is my NLT Select, also known as the Caxton. Beautiful layout. The reason I love the NLT is because it's so easy to read. I use the NLT kind of like a commentary. When I'm reading a more difficult translation and I feel a little stuck, I try to use the NLT to kind of get me unstuck, and it really helps. One area that the NLT kind of suffers for me is in the poetry. Whenever you have a more dynamic translation, the poetry does tend to suffer. So I don't love the NLT poetry, but from a standpoint of understanding, this is a great reference. And that's how I use the NLT, is kind of as a reference. My number 4 translation is the King James. You cannot have a top 5 without the King James. And this is a rebind from Rugged Cross Leather. He did a really good job. This is the turquoise Badalassi, beautiful waxy pull-up cowhide, and this is also has the metrical psalms in the back that are written kind of like King James English, but they're written to rhyme. Really love this, but there is something special about the King James. Sometimes it is a little difficult to read, I will admit. Sometimes it can be kind of challenging in some spots with the these and thous, but what I really love about it is the poetry. You just cannot beat the King James poetry. So that comes in at number 4. Almost made it to number 3, but really the perfect middle ground is the CSB, and this is also an ICA rebind. Beautiful Bordeaux. Love this layout. This is the large print personal size, single column, just absolutely beautiful. A joy to read. The CSB poetry is okay. It has little spots where you really want to read that fancy, beautiful English, and this doesn't provide that. But as far as like a middle of the road, going as literal as possible, but also going dynamic when necessary, this is the ideal translation. My number 2 translation, and this used to be my number 1, and that is the ESV. I absolutely love the ESV. I love the ESV English. I love that it sticks kind of with the tradition of the King James, but it uses the NA28 as its text base rather than the Textus Receptus. So I love having kind of in the same family. It's considered sort of an update to the King James. It goes from KJV to ASV to RSV to ESV, but it's from a different textual source, which really makes it nice because you have those textual notes that help, but I love the poetry. I love the Yoda talk in the ESV. By the way, this is a rebind from Rex Rebinds. Did an excellent job on this. Use the tobacco waxy pull-up Badalassi, absolutely beautiful work. And number 1 is from ICA. This is my favorite Bible. This is my favorite layout, and this is my favorite translation. This is the large print thin line, double column. This is set up very similarly to the Quintel. It has a very Quintel-like look with the bottom references, the red accents, the 36 GSM paper is what sets it apart, and it's also thinner than the Quintel. The reason I love the New King James is, number 1, it's in the family of the King James, and it sort of keeps those traditional renderings. The poetry reads beautifully, and it's just enough more smooth that it makes the King James a little more manageable. I love to read this. I love to read it in a preaching context. This is my preaching translation. I love the way it flows from the tongue. And the main reason that I absolutely love the New King James is because Thomas Nelson is committed to no textual updates. So we know that this translation is going to be what it is. When you have it on the screen, it's going to match. When somebody else has a different Bible, it's going to match. So it's really a perfect translation for me. And for 2 honorable mention translations, I want to go with I'm going to say my 6th favorite, so this is a bonus, is the NASB 1995 and the NASB 2020. I really like the NASB 2020. It's kind of like the CSB, but I really mostly enjoy the NASB 95 because it's so literal. It is very easy to read. This is a shark skin from ICA, beautiful. This is actually the NASB 2020 Elput Prime from Lockman. So God bless you. Keep calm, Jesus on. This is your Nichols Worth.